Thank you. So, Peter, out of the sunlight, please. All right.
Thank you, thank you.
All right. You good? Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Everybody good? How's that sound check? 77666677. Everybody good? Great. Thank you.
Hey, Brian, how you doing? Nice work. How are you? Good to see you. How you doing? I saw you guys the other day. Yeah, they were good. Where's our friend Pari?
Pari, where's Pari?
Hey, how you doing? Listen, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. I want to begin by thanking General Manager Phil Ang and his team for once again delivering for people in Massachusetts. We're also joined by one of our teammates, Ryan Holland, who's our COO for the MBTA. I also want to thank members of the MBTA Board of Directors, beginning with Chair Tom McGee. Appreciate all of your work, and joining us here today are Directors Bobby Butler and Director Peter Katujan. GMA just came from a board meeting and shared some exciting news, and the bottom line is this. We are making the T more available at longer hours, later at night. In some instances, we're making it free, and the whole goal, guys, is to make make transit more available to people. That's what this is about. So, Phil will give you some more of the details about this, but for 2.5 years, we have been making major investments in public transportation. That has been a priority for my administration, and we have made major changes at the T. And I just really commend Phil Ang and his team for their continued leadership in this space. Bit by bit, we are making improvements. We are making the T better. We are making it more accessible. We are making it more usable, right? And this is another example of that. So I'm really excited because as we move to the fall, whether you're working a late shift, whether you're out at a bar or a restaurant, whether you're enjoying games or concerts, and hopefully we'll have some teams, maybe even be playing into October here. The idea is that you're going to get a public transit system that you deserve and that's an option for you, that works for you. That's the whole story here. So I'm going to cut right to it and turn this over to Phil. But I just want to thank the riders who've come back to the T because of what we've been doing, and hopefully encourage more to take advantage of this experience. And thank you to the board, thank you to Phil, and thank you to all the workers at the MBTA for the time that you've put in, because it is truly paying off. And today is another example of that, and we're really proud to be able to make this announcement. GMA.
Thank you, Governor.
Thank you.
Well, you heard from the governor 2.5 years ago when the governor offered me this role. It was about how do we make transportation support the public that we serve? How do we make transportation improve quality of life? And how do we bring the MBTA back to what it needs to be to deliver the level of services that the public, the communities that we serve, the businesses that we serve can rely on it? And over the last 2.5 years, the governor, her administration, the legislative support have allowed us to start rebuilding our workforce, rebuilding our infrastructure. And every schedule change that we've implemented over the course of the last 2.5 years following important infrastructure upgrades has allowed us to improve service day by day. This schedule change, August 24th, not only improves service on our buses with higher frequency bus routes, 8 of them, every 15 minutes, shortening headways on our heavy rail during the day by 30 seconds, and every second counts. You will see better service on red, orange, blue. Green Line continues to do extremely well. Commuter rail continues to deliver robust and support the heavy ridership. But the extended service is just another key component to giving people who need and wanted to use our system but were unable to before can now choose to use it. The extended service on our heavy and light rail, on select bus routes for Friday and Saturdays, allows people to go to and from different areas. We've also extended service on several ferry routes, the East Boston, the Charlestown, and the Hingham Hull, because those are areas where we've been able to have sufficient crews to be able to support that. We're always going to continue to look for more. And then there are select bus routes that we actually were able to extend service 7 days a week. And again, this is to give public the option to choose transit, a cost-effective way to move out and about. Not only are we supporting people that want to go out and enjoy everything that Massachusetts has to offer, because there is so much to actually enjoy, but we're allowing the retail workers, the restaurant workers, the people that need to work and be out later than our typical service previously provided for before. Now we can do that on a basis where they can choose transit in an affordable way. This is just the culmination of 2.5 years of dedication, as the governor said, of the MBTA workforce. We have more to do. We're going to continue to build upon that. But also, as a way to encourage it and to really let people experience it, starting Friday, September 5th, Friday and Saturday for 5 weekends, we will be making the MBTA across every mode free from 9 p.m. through the end of service, and that's the end of the extended service. It is really exciting about what we have the ability to support the people that need to use the system, support businesses, to help support the economy, and really support quality of life. And I can't thank the governor, her administration, for the tremendous support that has allowed us to get to this point. Without it, from day one, we would be in a different place, and we're committed to ensuring that every dollar invested in MBTA provides that level of service that the public deserves and expects. So I think with that, we'll open it up to questions.
Good. Great. Thanks, Phil.
Thank you, Governor.
See his new tie? Yeah. He reps the T every day.
So what about late night safety? You know, you might have young women coming out of a bar, or guys, whatever, like at 1:30, 2 a.m. Are you going to have officers on
Yes.
site?
Safety has always been our paramount. No matter how much service we run, if it's not safe, people won't use the system. TPD is engaged. Just as they do today, till the end of service, they're going to continue to support us throughout. Obviously, one of the things is how to allow people to use transit, because some do want to go out and enjoy parties and maybe have a beverage or two. At the same time, safety on our system is paramount. Safety on how we run service is paramount. Operations would not be doing this if we did not believe we could. And I think I mentioned earlier at the board meeting, we did this in a way that allows all the important maintenance work, the corrective work that we're doing, can continue. We're not sacrificing the ability to maintain and rebuild our infrastructure. So safety in terms of running service, safety of the public using our service, and then really in giving the people options, I think adds another level of safety as well. We want people to choose transit, get them off the roads, and there's so many benefits to that as well.
Phil, people tend to talk a lot of smack about Boston being a place that goes to sleep early. I hear that a lot. Given the infrastructure that we have now, is there ever a possibility that the T could run 24 hours a day? Do you see that being a possibility in the future sometime?
Well, you know, we are always going to look to how do we continuously improve. And as I mentioned, this service change improves service throughout the day, but it also improves extended service. As we rebuild infrastructure and we start to look at how do we start single tracking more and more, how do we actually support different ways of doing work, I think that provides more opportunity for us to look at improving service even beyond this. At the same time, I think we need to work with the demand and make sure. There's a lot of other essential needs that I believe in, healthcare workers that still would like to see our system in different areas. We need to build up to that, but the basis on which the governor and the legislative support that has allowed us to start rebuilding our workforce, there's opportunities in the future, but we need to make sure that we are going to do this in a strategic manner. That's why I give a lot of credit to Ryan Caholen. When we talked about this several years ago, it wasn't let's just jump right into it and just do it because it's a great thing and everyone wants it. It's let's do it in a manner that we know that we could sustain it and we could deliver it successfully. And it doesn't take away from every other priority that we have because they're all number one priorities. Safety, maintenance, doing the work timely, getting that done in parallel as we're improving safe service.
Yeah.
Is it
And we want Massachusetts, we were just ranked the third most vibrant economy for the arts in the country, okay? And that's a huge improvement from where we've been. Our administration has made big investments just as a matter of economic development. And we want people to be out and enjoying downtown Boston, enjoying nightlife, and being able to, feel a really vibrant vibe. When we've got hundreds of thousands of young people coming to Massachusetts schools every year, as governor, I'll do everything to support greater vibrancy in Boston and in greater Boston. And, certainly, with that, whether it's getting workers to and from where they need to go or getting people out so they can go to ball games, concerts, cool places to hang out, right, later into the evening, I'm confident the team here will figure out a way to get them back and forth. But I think, your underlying message about our need to and our desire to do everything to make this the most attractive place. Remember, I brag all the time. We're number one in education, innovation, and healthcare. We have the best drinking water in the country. We've been ranked the best place to have a baby, to raise a family, right? And among the safest states in the country. And we also want it to be the kind of place where people of all ages, can enjoy, including in the late evening hours. I think it's great.
What's the cost of the pilot?
We have this as $2 million annually. That is in our operating budget, so there's no extra cost required from any assistance. It's very cost effective in terms of what we believe the benefit will be to the Commonwealth.
And suffice to say, this wouldn't be possible without the additional revenue that's now coming to take in this year's budget.
We are seeing not only the budget, thank you, Governor, that has helped us in terms of sustaining and allowing us to continue building upon the last few years of success, but we're also seeing ridership return. Even with all the outages that we've had over the last 2 years to rebuild our infrastructure, ridership is on the uptick, and we believe that this opportunity, again, as we improve reliability, frequency, and we extend service, we're going to even see more riders.
Governor, the T was kind of a stumbling block, I think, for the previous administration. You came in, this was a priority, I think, for you to get this thing right. Do you feel like the Transit Authority is where you want it to be? Do you feel like enough has been done?
Well, I think to term it a stumbling block is a gross understatement. Trains were literally on fire when we took over, and we've had to redo any number of things that were done under the prior administration. One thing, I think Phil and I share a similar sensibility. We're going to pedal to the metal on everything, make sure we empower the team, make sure we have the resources where they need to go. That's why we've been able to make the improvements the last 2.5 years. And I am grateful to Phil, who brings his very pragmatic leadership to this. In addition, his engineering background. It's nice to finally have somebody in charge of the T who's an engineer. And then Ryan, who's come, with his background. But our work is never done. Every day, especially because we have years of underinvestment, mismanagement to make up for. We're still very much in that mode, but I'm just really pleased to see the progress that has been made the last 2.5 years. I think it's reflected in the increase in ridership numbers and the number of positive stories about people's experience on the T, and that's what we want. So the work is not finished. There's more to do. Yesterday, we were in Natick in front of a commuter rail station. Important upgrades there to a downtown that provides tremendous economic vitality to the region. There's more work to do. I'm grateful to the legislature. We are going to make the very best use of every single one of those $8 billion for public transit to make sure that Massachusetts is really leading. And importantly, on the T, the commuter rail, but also in ferries. We're trying to do a lot more on waterways. We're trying to put a lot more money into just fixing the damn roads and bridges and potholes and clearing up traffic congestion, doing the planning and implementation that should have been done. Now we've got the resources to do it. So it's a work in progress, but that's how I see it. What do you did I?
No, 100 on the spot. Transportation moves the economy, transportation drives quality of life, and a multimodal transportation system, not just mass transportation, but the highway, bridge network, the water network, they all go together. And it's that coexistence that really makes the, such exciting times ahead.
The team
Last
piloted
question.
late night service about a decade ago, pulled the plug in 2016. Governor Baker at the time said it got very little ridership and cost a lot of money. What's changed since then?
Well, again, I give a lot of credit to the operations team. They looked at it in a manner of where do we have the capability to deliver this additional service. And if you think about the annual costs of operating for all this extra service that we're running, the $2 million, again, first it was built into our budget. We knew we could handle it. We knew that our workforce is ready to handle that and our infrastructure is capable. And we're not doing this as a pilot. We're doing this as part of a regular service change, the fall service schedule. And from the beginning, when we started to rebuild, every service change that we've made is based on our capabilities to sustain that service change. So we're not doing this as how many people we're riding. We're doing this to ensure that the people that need to use the system can use the system. We're a public transit agency. We do it to provide a public service. And there's a lot of people that need it to rely on the service that haven't been able to use it. That's how we're measuring success, not whether it's 10 million people using it or 50 people using it. And at the board meeting, I alluded to it. Every transit agency across the country still ran service because essential workers needed to use it. Public transit should be part of that.
So this is kind of a loss leader.
I don't know if I call this a loss leader because the MBTA supports economic development, supports economic growth. So if we can keep retail workers, restaurant workers, healthcare workers, anyone that needs to use mass transportation, we could drive those businesses to be successful, right? So we are help facilitating. Governors and the administration on housing, where people want to live and work and play, it's not just working, but it's also the ability to say, I could use mass transit to go from point A to point B because now it's more available. We've made it more affordable with income eligible. We're making it more reliable with all the work we're doing and all the hiring. And now we're making it even better because maybe one day it will be the city that never sleeps as well. I know Brian Coholen never sleeps as the COO, so why shouldn't we allow everyone else to do that too?
Yeah. I think Chair McGee wants to offer something.
Just want to make a point on it. The added value for the quality of life, the people that are going to have a chance to really use this system and make it work for them. But we continue to, I think, and need to continue to highlight the quality of the economy and what this economy, it drives the economy in this region. And to make the investments, as this administration has in the legislature, with the work of Phil Eng and his team, and the work of the board, is to see the kind of results that you get from these investments. A better system, but more importantly, more economic investment and a development that happens from these kind of investments. So we're talking about a loss leader. It's not a loss leader. It really is creating the kind of service that will allow people to live their lives. The quality of life will improve, but more importantly, it helps grow our economy. And so many studies have reflected on how the investment in the MBTA, making it a 21st century system, really creates the kind of economy that will continue to grow for the region. So I think that is a big piece of this. It's a great proposal, but just as importantly, it continues on the work that's going on to continue to improve the service, that continues to grow our economy and build for the future. And I think that is an important piece of what's going on here today. There was a lot of effort in the 10 or 15 years ago when I was in the legislature to look at this kind of service. Now we're able to do it, which is exciting. So.
Nicely said, Chairman.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
For off-topic questions, Krista and the governor will be over here to the side. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you all.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you for the appointment to this.
Thank you.
Thank you for the appointment. This has been awesome.
Good stuff.
It's been a great experience.
It's great stuff. Good to see you again. Good to see you, too.
Great. Hopefully having a good summer.
Yeah, it's been all right. That's why we've got another 4 weeks and then we're
Take it easy.
off.
Send me that phone by too quick, too. Yeah.